At this point, everyone knows who Kendrick Lamar is. I know he's been popular for a while now, but he's definitely reached new heights in his fame that we've never seen before. He's become the first rapper to reach 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and as of making this video, he's on 108 million, which puts him above Billie Eilish. So it's safe to say that he's massive. What does this mean though? It means that Kendrick Lamar is overrated.
Oh my god.
Nah, I'm joking. Or am I? Depending on whatever social media platform you use, you'll either find people hating on Kendrick or glazing him. Obviously, this is all based on your algorithm, so I'm just speaking from my experience. For me, I found that YouTube was a primary source of Kendrick glaze. Like those YouTube polls where Kendrick wins everything by a landslide, it's just a bunch of K-bots picking Kendrick no matter what the question is. A few examples are which song has the least replay value, and somehow Meet the Grahams wins. There's literally Dance with the Devil. I mean, it has to be that song. That song is literally about a guy that you know what's his own mum. Then another one, what's the newly best released album? And GNX wins by 52%. And The Weeknd's album is right there. I mean, if you haven't listened to the album, you need to listen to it because it absolutely wipes anything that's on this poll. And then this one, what's the most iconic diss track? I know Hit 'Em Up wins this poll and by a fair margin, but how on earth did Not Like Us get 20% more votes than Ether and No Vaseline? Places like Twitter or X, you find a sort of balance. Usually I'll find a tweet that praises Kendrick, and then a few scrolls later I'll find someone quote tweeting that tweet shitting on him. Again, maybe it's just my algorithm, but that's what I find. After the whole beef with Drake, you've essentially got two sides. If you show your appreciation for either artist, that automatically means you only like that person, and obviously things aren't as black and white as that. I think Kendrick's the better rapper, but I actually enjoyed Drake's new album with P&D.
Big P&D, man. Fuck.
More than GNX. I'm not saying that Drake's new shit was a masterpiece or anything, but I do think it was an enjoyable listen. So you might be thinking, where does that place GNX then? In the mid category. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the album. And this isn't the kind of thing where OG listeners of an artist start disliking the artist's new stuff. I've been listening to Kendrick since like 2020-ish, so I'm definitely not OG. I don't think GNX is terrible or bad even, I just think it's mid. My main gripe with it is the way Kendrick sounds. I just don't like how his voice is on this album. To me, it's kinda annoying. The whole album is filled with it. One example off the top of my head is Man at the Garden.
I deserve it all. I deserve it all. I deserve it all.
Funnily enough, that's always been a problem for new listeners of Kendrick. They'll usually say that his voice changes and etc. are jarring, but I've never really had a problem with it up until GNX.
I don't like the different voices that he does.
It's like he's rapping with his teeth closed. Like, just open your mouth, bruh. Another thing about this album is that some of the beats just don't sound good. This is all personal opinion, so if you do like this album, take no offense. One example of the beats is Squabble Up. I actually like the start of the song quite a lot, especially that little female vocal sample bit, but then it gets to the chorus.
Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up.
To me, it just sounds ass, and the beat just sounds so goofy. You can't tell me it doesn't sound like a goofy TikTok audio. One song that gets praised a lot is Reincarnated. This song samples a Tupac song and the beat is maybe the only thing I like about it. I used to be a heavy Tupac blazer when I was in my old head 90s hip hop phase, and even to this day, he's one of my favorite rappers ever. I just think Tupac's version is way better. Kendrick also tries to imitate Tupac's flow and cadence, as in it means to pay homage. Again, I'm not a fan of this. I know the song is supposed to have a deep message and everything, but if I don't like how a song sounds, then I simply don't care for anything after that. With all that being said, I do like a few songs off of the album, both of the songs with SZA and the Hot Part 6, especially the Hot Part 6. That song is great. So do I think Kendrick is overrated? Basing it off of his latest music, slightly. Another issue that I'm just going to quickly mention is that his fanbase loves to read into the lyrics super deeply. Like everything that he says has to include a riddle that connects to a deeper message. You found this a lot during the Drake beef, and it was kind of fucked up because the discourse was usually very disingenuous when it came to Drake's diss tracks. Don't get me wrong though, Kendrick definitely won that beef. Kendrick's music from Section 80 to Mr. Morale were all great in my opinion, and for that reason, he's in my top 10 favourite rappers of all time. I'm just not a fan of GNX. But yeah, that's about all I have to say on this. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. If you agree, also let me know. Like, subscribe, and see y'all later.